Welcome to the channel. I'm James and it's January 2022, so that means that I'm about to do another Vanguard portfolio review. I haven't done one in a few months, and with it being a new year 2022 and coming to the end of the UK tax year, which is in April, I thought I would do another quick update because everybody likes to see these. Let's just get straight into it. You can see that my portfolio value is at the top. This is combined of my pension and my ISA. We'll be doing a breakdown of both of these, but we're looking at the ISA first. But you can see it has a total value of £71,402.58. This is split between £7,565 in the pension and £63,837 in the ISA, and that is the total. And that means I've had a total gain of £13,621, with the ISA being £13,726, and the pension actually has a small loss of 100, which I'll show at the very end. So let's get into the ISA. So quickly, what is this? It's a stocks and shares ISA. It lets people from the UK invest money into an account, but it's free from capital gain tax and income tax. It's a tax saving method to put money in your pocket, and you can invest up to £20,000 a year. So this type of ISA is very similar to what is in America with a Roth IRA, but this is the UK's version of it. You can see here that the ISA allowance, I have 8,000 remaining of my 2021-2022 ISA allowance. The UK tax year is April to April, so up till April I can invest up to £8,000 more. You can see here that the maximum that I can invest in the ISA is £20,000 a year. So I did have to miss a few months because I purchased a house, so I was a little bit tight on money. So that's why I have extra to be able to put in. So one of my goals potentially is, if I can afford it, is to try and max out my ISA for the year, which would be investing £8,000 in the next few months. Quite a challenge, but I want to see if I can put in as much as I can because it is tax efficient. If we just go on the payments here, you can see that every month I'm investing into the S&P 500, which is VUSA. We'll be talking about that in a bit. And currently I'm investing £1,500 per month. To max out the ISA, I would have to invest £1,666 a month, and I think 87 pence. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to update that. And you can see I've updated it right now. So that is the amount I'll be putting in each month. So if everything goes well in 2022 and I invest monthly for the entire year, I will have maxed out my ISA, which will be one of my goals. So let's go into the investments. You can see it's split between the LifeStrategy 100% equity fund accumulation with 26% of the portfolio weighting, and the S&P 500, which is VUSA, which is about 73%, and then we have a little bit in cash. So what is the LifeStrategy fund? Well, this is a ready-made portfolio that Vanguard offers, and you can pick different ones which have different goals. So you can see here, you can get the 20%, which is split between 20% shares and bonds, and it goes 60-40, 40-60, 80-20, and the one that I'm choosing, which is 100%, which is obviously a higher risk one, but potentially has more returns. It has underlying funds included in it. These are the FTSE All Share, US Equity, Developed World, S&P 500, emerging markets, etc., etc. I won't read through all this, but you can see they have different weightings. This one is predominantly a UK and US with developing world as well, so it's split evenly between those, and then has the S&P 500 as well. The total cost of this holding was £13,200, and it has a current value of £16,600, which is a change of around about £3,400. And if we go on the portfolio, you can see the breakdown of when I started investing. So I actually have to go to the 5-year chart here, and you can see this was something I was investing monthly from August of 2018, and was investing monthly with different price points. You can see that they are all included here with the different ones I was buying. So I was usually putting in around about £200 to £400 a month in this, and then upped it to 700, and then eventually stopped because I wanted to put more in the VUSA. You can see I eventually stopped here on the 23rd of March. So overall, this has increased around about 25%, 25.69, as my average unit cost is £230, and it's gone up to almost 290. Overall, since 2018, it has actually increased 32%, which is some excellent returns. So if you look in the 12-month period when I stopped, the 31st of December 2020 to 21, it has actually gone up 20%. So I have missed out on some games, but when we compare it to the S&P 500, the VUSA, I think it's an okay switch. So the next holding is the S&P 500 VUSA. This is 74% of my portfolio. It has a total cost of £31,821 and has increased and has a current value of £47,216, which is about a £9,400 increase. So it's actually down from my previous portfolio update, but it's still in the green, which is what I want to see. So what is this? Well, it's a fund that benchmarks against the S&P 500, which is the Standard & Poor's 500, which is the 500 largest companies in the US. And if you go to the weighted exposure, you can see the sectors of the markets that it is invested in. It has a large exposure of around about 30% in information technology, which is obviously because that some of the largest US companies are in the technology sector. But you can see the breakdown here. Healthcare 13%, consumer discretionary 12%, financials 10%, communication services 10%, industrials 7.8%, consumer staples 6%, real estate 2.7%, energy 2.7%, materials 2.5%, and utilities 2.5%. So that is the breakdown per sector. And if you scroll down again, you can see the top holdings. I won't be going through all of these, but for example, you can see that it's broken down based on a percentage of the largest companies. So the largest holding currently in the S&P 500 in VUSA is Apple Inc. with around about 6.8%. Then Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, which is about 2%, Alphabet again, Facebook, Nvidia, Berkshire Hathaway, and United Health Group. So if we go to the breakdown and go back once again to the 5-year chart, you can see I started investing here at the 17th of August 2018, and have been investing monthly with buying some of the dip in the COVID crash and then continuing. And then you can see that was the time period where I wasn't investing, but I have started again now, which is one thing I'm really happy about. If we go to the graphs of VUSA here, you can see that over the year, it's actually down on the year to date, down about 6.5%. Over the last year, it's up about 18%. And if we do 5 years, you can see it's up 80%. But realistically, from when I started investing, which was around about here, you can see that it's actually up about 47%. But because I've been doing dollar cost averaging, this has gave me around about a 24.84% increase, which I'm very, very happy with. And if we look here from the 30th of December 2020 to 2021, this has an increase of 29.45%, whereas the LifeStrategy 100 only had about a 19% increase. So since I've switched, I think it's been a good investment to switch to fully investing in VUSA. If we click on the performance tab, this just gives a graph showing the increase of the entire time. So you can see I've contributed around about 50. The investments have returned about 13,700, and I've ended up with 63,836, which is a Vanguard rate of return of 66%. This isn't the annualized rate of return. It's a internal rate of return, which is a pound rate of return. I don't really look at this because to be perfectly honest, don't really understand it, but it's, according to Vanguard, a 66% of return. So if we go to my purchases from the time of my last update, you can see I've been purchasing Vanguard monthly with a value of around about £1,500. I purchased 22 here, 22 here, and then on the 2nd of January, I was given a dividend payment, and I used that to purchase 3 shares. So if we just quickly go to the dividends, you can see here on the 31st of December, I was paid a dividend for VUSA at 17 pence per unit, and that paid me £128. And with that, I was able to buy 2 outright, but then I also had some cash. So you can see I bought 3 for £202. This is the dividend for Vanguard, but the declaration of Vanguard's next dividend will be on the 10th of March, and the ex-dividend date will be the 17th of March. And currently it has a dividend yield of 2.3%, which is up from 1.7. So that is very good to see. I said in the previous episode that I was going to potentially move over my LS 100 to Vanguard. And I think with this dip, I might actually do that before then. So it means my dividend payment will increase. And if we go to the calculations here, you can see the dividends and the charges and the total return. So if we look here, we've got the current gain loss of about 12,700. We sold some investments, which was when at the very start, I was investing in FTSE 100 and the FTSE 250 as a little tester. And I didn't like it, I got rid of them. I have my gross interest, which is basically whenever I had anything in cash, I would get paid interest on that, but obviously you want to try and reinvest the dividends immediately. Since starting investing in August of 2018, I have been paid £831.45 in dividends. This has all been from VUSA, as the LifeStrategy 100 does not pay a dividend, and I've had £119.87 in charges. So overall, with those charges, I've still managed to increase my portfolio by 13,726, which is excellent. And as you can see here, the dividends themselves have easily covered the cost of the charges, which is one of the reasons why I like Vanguard so much. And we'll just quickly run through the pensions here because it is part of the portfolio. You can see the pension value current has 7,565 and 23 pence. I have been trying to include all my pensions in here. I've only been working for 7 years and I haven't paid too much to my pensions, which is bad. So I want to try and get them all in my Vanguard so I'm more active and aware of them. And as you can see here, I've actually moved them into VUSA and I currently have 103 left over. So why not? Let's just do this live. Let's invest those £103 into more VUSA. Oh, I've never done this before. Let's just get started. I'm just investing for myself. Select my investments. We select our own funds because I want to put this in the S&P 500. So let's go to the equity funds and search for VUSA. And you can see here, we will put in the £100. This will only purchase one share because it's currently valued at around about £63 and you can't buy fractionals on this. So let's just do a submit and it has been instructed. So that's good to see. Anyway, back to the pension, you can see I've actually lost £105.38, and this is because the market's actually had a bit of a decline in the last 2 months. But there's nothing really else to show on the pension, it's just a quick thing that I want to keep track of. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give a like and a comment, and I'll be doing these once again more regularly. I'll probably be doing one in February and definitely in March with those dividends being paid. Right guys, thanks again as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.